What's good, YouTube? Dre here with Different Gaming. Going to be bringing y'all the last archetype from Outer Phantom Revenge. If you haven't checked out the Killer Tune video or the Heckahan video, be sure to check that out on the channel. Go ahead and, you know, get ahead of the game. Before I hop into the video, hit that like and subscribe button. Let me know in the comment section below your opinion and thoughts about the new decks coming out in Phantom Revenge. And without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into the deck. Now, just a disclaimer. A lot of people were wondering why Fossil Dino got banned. This deck is the reason why that card got banned. Enneacraft was a machine flip effect type archetype. And there's a lot of reading that you have to do with these cards because not all of them are the same. Each of them, each of them have different pendulum effects and monster effects. So I'll go through each of the monsters, pendulum effect and monster effect, and then go through the spells, and then I'll go key cards. So first we have Enneacraft, Alza Leon. A pendulum effect each time a monster is flipped face up. Now I will say each of them have the same pendulum effect. That's the first one. Each time a monster is flipped face up, I'll place one sequential counter on this card. At the end of the battle phase, if you have an Enneacraft card in your other pendulum zone, you can target one monster your opponent controls with less attack than this card, destroy it. So, Leon in the pendulum zone with the pendulum effect is very good, but I'm in testing. My test partner never brought it up. So that's probably something I can let him know. Try to put Leon in the pendulum zone. Monster effect. Now, the only words that will be the same when it comes to monster effect is this first part right here. You can reveal this card in your hand for cost. Each of the Enneacraft monsters have this effect, but you can special summon one monster from your hand face down defense position. So, what does that mean? What that mean is you can open a hand of, say, Leon or any of the other Endercraft monsters, reveal it for cost, and then special summon a Fossil Dino face down without your opponent even knowing that it's a Fossil Dino. They'll literally think it's the monster that you just revealed. So all of them have the same clause. You can reveal them and special summon one monster face down. You cannot special summon a turn you activate this effect except in face down defense position. When your opponent activates a card or effect in response to the activation of your card or effect, quick effect, you can change this card. You can change this set card to face up defense position for calls. Return up to 3 cards on the field to the hand. After this card was flipped face up, while it is in the monster zone, each time a card or cards is added to your opponent's hand by their card effect, inflict 900 damage to your opponent for each. So as you see, when your opponent activates a card or effect in response to the activation of your card or effect. So, it doesn't restrict it to just Enneacraft. So you can play, you can play Talent, and if your opponent responds, you can activate Leon. So Leon is a card that they definitely want to try to have on board and have in hand. Next one is Enneacraft Archon Tail. Each time a monsters is flipped face up, place one sequential counter on this card. At the end of the battle phase, if you have an Enneacraft card in your other pendulum zone, you can target one monster in your opponent's. You can target one monster your opponent controls with less attack than this card. Destroy it. So these are the two big ones. Two out of the three big ones. And so far, these two have the same pendulum effect. Um, just like Leon, you can reveal it, special summon one face down, and you can't special summon except for face down. Yeah. Hell effect. When your opponent activates a card or effect that would destroy a card or cards on the field, does not matter if it's your opponent or your own, does not matter. Quick effect. You can change this set card to face up defense position for cost. Monsters and Enneacraft spells you control cannot be destroyed by card effects for the rest of this turn. After this card was flipped face up while it is in the monster zone, each time a monster is sent to your graveyard, inflict 900 damage to your opponent. So it doesn't matter, and it's the activation. So if you activate anything that destroys, this card can trigger. It doesn't matter if you're destroying your own cards, if you're destroying your opponent's cards, if you're trying to destroy another card somewhere else. I don't know. But very, very straightforward. So Draco Tail, we like the chain block, Arthelion, um, Chainlink 1, then like Pan Chainlink 2, Lucius Chainlink 3. Even if you chain block and you use Pan or Urgula as Chainlink 1 and chain block with that, it doesn't matter. It still triggers this because you activated an effect that would destroy a card or cards on the field. It's the activation of a card, not effect, but card. So moving on, we have Enneacraft at Stay Pixie. Yeah, Stay Pixie. Just like other two, each time a monster is flipped face up, place one sequential counter on it at the end of the battle phase. If you have another Enneacraft card in the pendulum zone, target one monster your opponent controls with less attack than this card, destroy it. So one, two, three big machines. And just like Leon and Tail, you can reveal this card in your hand for call special summon one, face down. And when your opponent activates a card or effect that targets a card or card you control, you can change this set card to face up defense position, negate that effect, then you could banish one random card from your opponent's hand, face down. After this card was flipped face up while in Monster Zone, your opponent cannot target cards in the field or graveyard with card effects. And that's both graveyards. Both graveyards cannot target. And even if you chain block, even when you chain block, if you don't, um, actually I need to correct myself about Tail and Leon. I need to make something very, very, very clear. These effects say when, so just like Villamil, that says when. If your opponent chain blocks correctly, then these monsters lose a whole lot more value. So let me correct myself on saying what I just said about chain blocking earlier. Which I mean it is right. Like if your opponent doesn't chain block correctly, then you can still trigger these effects. But if they chain block correctly, then what can the big ones do? What can they do? They just sit there. So Leon, whenever you activate a card or effect and activation to your opponent's card or effect activation, it triggers Leon. Tail is um destruction protection, and Pixia is targeting protection. So remember, Leon is basically just a shield. Leon, we're going to call Leon the shield. Tail, destruction protection. Pixia, targeting protection. And then next we have Enneacraft, a Torif Mar, just like Leon, Tail, and Pixia. Um, and you always want to have a big one, a big Enneacraft in the pendulum scale, if not two, because I'll explain later when we get deeper into the spells. Uh, you can build this card, especially summon one face down. When your opponent activates a card or effect on the field during your turn, quick effect. You can change this set card to face up defense position, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. If this card is flipped face up, change all monsters your opponent controls to face down defense position. Monsters changed to face down defense position by this effect cannot change their battle positions. And Mar is the Omni Negate. It's a big whale. It's a killer whale. Wow, I just realized that they all kind of the big ones like represent actually the small ones are the big ones in baby form. Oh, dang, I should have went over the baby forms first. That's wild. So you can literally just reveal one and then just special summon whatever other monster you have in your hand face down. So Leon the Shield, Destruction Protection for Tail, Pixia, Targeting Protection, Mar, Omni Negate. Then we have the little ones. We have Enneacraft A Orgia. Each time a monster is flipped face up, place one sequential counter. All the pendulums have that first one. But now the small ones have this effect. You can pay 900 life points for calls, reveal three Enneacraft cards from your deck. Your opponent randomly picks one for you to add to your hand. Also, you shuffle the rest. So all the little ones have that pay 9 to feel fine for cost. And then just like the big ones, you can reveal it, special summon one, and then you can't special summon except for face down. And when your opponent activates a monster effect in the hand, quick effect, you can change this set card to face up to fist position. Add one Enneacraft card from your deck to your hand. If this card is flipped face up, destroy one monster your opponent controls. So, um, something to check, something to check like hand traps or killer tune is coming out, so a lot of effects are going to be happening in the hand. Draco Tail can activate Phimena from the hand. Um, Yummy Marshmallow activates from hand to special summon. So if you kind of commit to the board, and like that's the whole point of the deck, is to throw your opponent off and make them feel like the monster you revealed is a monster that you set. So you can reveal Leon, but special summon this face down, or you can reveal Ixia and then put this face down. So as you're reading over certain ones, the ones that you're reading isn't even the one that's set. And this one, once you activate a monster effect in hand, whatever monster you have on board, if it's important, yep, it's gonna bye bye. Baby. All right. Next we have Enneacraft B Alazon. Each type of monster is flip face up. Place one sequential encounter on the card. You can pay 9 to feel fine. Reveal 3 Enneacraft cards from your deck. Your opponent randomly picks one for you to add. This Leon. This is Leon. It's a baby form of Leon. Just like the other ones, you can reveal this card, special summon one monster face down. When your opponent activates a card or effect that includes an effect that adds a card or cards from the deck to the hand, quick effect, you can change this set card to face up the face position and one Enneacraft card from your deck to your hand. If this card is flipped face up, that is one random card from your opponent's hand face up until the end phase. So we have the first little one, the second little one. The first little one, your opponent activates a monster effect in hand. You can add an Enneacraft card and then destroy a card. Then Alazon, you add an Enneacraft card and then you banish one from your opponent's hand. So if you're on top deck, let me use Draco Tail for perfect example because I've been playtesting Draco Tail against this archetype. If you're on top deck and say they reveal Leon, which this has happened, and you think that they set Leon, activate keep two, add, okay, I'm gonna activate Alazon. That is the card that you just added. Then we have Enneacraft, um, Neria. Each time a monster is flip face up, place one sequential counter on this card. I pay 9 to feel fine. Reveal 3 Enneacraft cards from the deck, and your opponent picks one. Just like the others, you reveal it, special summon one. I'm gonna go straight to the effect on this one and the last little monster. When your opponent activates a card effect in the graveyard or banishment, quick effect, you can change this card to face up defense position. Add one Enneacraft card from your deck to your hand. If this card is flipped face up, shuffle up to 3 cards from your opponent's graveyard and or banishment into the deck. So against Draco Tail, that effect really helps us more than anything. You can definitely shuffle back hand traps, dead cards like Fua. That's about the only dead hand trap. Everything else will be live. So against other decks though, this effect can be very good. But the main thing from the little ones is adding an Enneacraft card from the deck to the hand. And then if the matchup calls for it, I mean it's a mandatory effect. Oh, that's another thing I forgot to so the little ones, I believe, once they are flipped face up, their effects are mandatory. Yes, the little ones' effects are mandatory. So as long as there's cards there to fulfill the resolution of the card, like destroy a monster on the field, when you activate a monster effect in hand, like say if you activate Fua because you don't know what to expect, or Perulia, and then they flip this one up, add, and then there's no monster on the field to destroy except the self, so it just destroys itself. Yeah, just gave you a little counter. But the little ones' effects are mandatory. The big ones just have lingering effects, except for Mar, which is the Omni Negate. So Leon has a lingering effect while it's in the monster zone. Tail has a lingering effect while it's in the monster zone. Pixia has a lingering effect while it's in the monster zone. While it is in the monster zone, each time a monster is set, inflict 900. And then Mar just changes all the battle positions. But if there's no cards to shuffle, and it says shuffle up 2-3, I'm actually glad it says shuffle up 2-3. By that time, the Enneacraft player probably will be shuffling back their own spells. Probably useful hand traps. So be on the lookout for that. And then for the last Enneacraft monster, and I did say there's a lot of reading with these cards. Same each time a monster flip face up, place one sequential, pay 9, feel fine, reveal the special summon 1 face down. When your opponent activates a card or effect that includes an effect that special summons a monster or monsters, quick effect, you can change the set card to face up to this position. Add one Enneacraft card from your deck to your hand. If this card is flipped face up, negate the effects of one effect monster your opponent controls until the end of this turn. So, Droll kills the deck. Absolutely kills the deck. If they don't open what they need, or they open a dead hand, and they only can like special summon 2 small ones, or like a Leon, then yeah, the deck just falls to one hand trap, and that's Droll. Actually, two hand traps, Droll and Perulia. So the key cards to look out for is all of them, and I would give y'all a key card for the Pendulum Monsters, but they're all reactive effects. So you have to be activating the proper effect to trigger either one. So once you kind of get the the gist of the deck, you'll you'll learn how to be able to chain block and be able to play around the deck. I will say, the spells are the key cards. So first spell is the field spell. It's Annapolis, the Sequential City, and this card is always treated as an Enneacraft card. Has the Enna, Enna. So once per turn during the end phase. Now I know you're probably wondering what's the point of the sequential counters and all this and that. Well, now we're about to get to the fun of it. So remember, Leon deals 900 damage if you keep adding. Tail does 900 for each monster set, and then you can place one on each of the pendulums each time a monster is flipped face up. Okay? All right. Remove all sequential counters from your field, and if you do, inflict 900 damage to your opponent for each. Imagine Fossil Dyna still being legal. So just just hypothetically, you're playing against Enneacraft, and you're the Enneacraft player has two pendulums set up. Um, you sent two monsters to the grave. Okay, so you already taken 1800, and they have 10 counters. I don't ask how they got 10 counters, but they got 10 counters. So in total, that's 20 counters. That's 20 times 9. So now getting to the real part of why this flip effect archetype is very good. And I wouldn't say very good, but it's definitely going to be interesting. It's very interesting. You can stall and burn. It is a stall burn control deck. Now, can you turn these monsters to attack? An attack for game with 3,000, 3,000, 3,000? Yeah, you surely, durly, pearly can. But what's the point of doing that when when you can easily just reveal a, a level one and set this with 2,500 defense? This is like the OG Yu-Gi-Oh. This is literally like the OG Yu-Gi-Oh, where they were just playing monsters, summon three blue eyes in one turn, no tributes. Yeah, let me just I play my shield guard in defense position. Bro, you ain't even said it. That thing is face up in defense, straight from the hand. So, oh, and it gets better. It gets better for this card. You can only use each effect of the field spell once per turn. You can target any number of Enneacraft Pendulum monster cards you control for calls. Return them to the hand. So if you have all these little puppies face up and in the pendulum scale, guess what? You can add them all back to hand. So say if you have two pendulums and three pendulum monsters on board. You can activate the field spell and add them all back. Oh, huh. I don't know if y'all noticed, but each one of these monsters are not once per turn. Not even a soft once per turn. Yeah, none of them are once per turn. Just keep that in mind. They're not once per turn. They're not all hard once per turn cards. You can use these effects as many times in one turn possible. And if an Enneacraft Pendulum monsters you control is flipped face up during the main phase, you can return to the hand or place in your pendulum zone one of them. So that's why I was saying the field spell. Honestly, the spells are the key cards because it doesn't matter. Your opponent's gonna have Enneacraft monsters in their hand. Then we have Enneacraft Rebirth. Rebirth is the biggie. Rebirth is the deck's reload. Shuffle any number of Enneacraft monster cards from your hand and or face-up field into the deck, then draw cards equal to the number shuffled. If your opponent normal special summons a monster while this card is in your graveyard, you can banish this card, then activate one of these effects. Special summon one Enneacraft monster from your hand in face down defense position, or change one face down defense position Enneacraft monster you control to face up. Rebirth. Rebirth. Key card. And if I'm not mistaken, you can ghost spell this because banishing is not a cost and it is activated. So once you special summon, it'll trigger the rebirth. Choosing activating one of the effects is cost. Correct me if I'm wrong, but there is a comma after you can banish this card. Activating one of the effects is cost. So key card, do not let them get this card off. Dash it, draw before they can get to it. Anything. Keep them off this. Keep them from just just use your imagination because I am right now. If they have five monsters on field, two pendulums, they literally shuffle all seven and draw seven cards. Leaving it at that. Then we have Enneacraft Release. Place one Enneacraft Pendulum monster from your deck in your pendulum zone. If this card is in your graveyard, except the turn it was set there, you can banish it for cost. Add one face-up Enneacraft monster from your extra deck to your hand. This card, you just can't do anything about it. You just have to let this go through. There's nothing you can do. You just wait to see what pendulum skill they set up. Oh, and also they're all zeros, all zero pendulum scales. So there will be no pendulum summing unless they add another pendulum. But that is the Enneacraft deck. That is the last deck out of Phantom Revenge. Key cards, field spell, rebirth. Make sure you read every single one of these cards and you remember what they do because they've already have a ruling in the judges lounge to where once your opponent ends their turn, you cannot ask what those face down monsters are. Because technically, you reveal one and then you special summon another monster from your hand. So technically, it's private knowledge. So I see this deck causing a lot of issues at events and locals. And then on top of that, these cards will be used. Book of Eclipse, Book of Lunar Eclipse, Book of Moon, Book of Tayu. The four books that are always used for any flip effect archetypes, I feel will be utilized when Enneacraft comes out. So be sure you have your answers ready, Ghost Ogre ready, Droll, Perulia, and Ghost Spell. But I hope y'all enjoy the video. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about Enneacraft. In my personal opinion, it's going to be a fun, interesting, confusing deck. So, hope everybody has a blessed day. Y'all have a good day. And until next time, peace.